Hello everyone, this is Sturdy. This is my Halo 1 Legendary tutorial. There is an easy tutorial by Vitrocity for this game, a very good tutorial, and there are also some other tutorials for other Halo games, but there's currently none for the Legendary difficulty. There are a few individual level tutorials, but none covering the entire game, and I would like to do that. Mainly because we were planning eventually for someone to do a tutorial, and with the release of Halo Custom Edition done segmented, I feel like some people might be introduced to Halo speedrunning, and what better way than to make a tutorial. So, a few notes. I'm using Halo Custom Edition. This title screen is not the same one that's used in the original Halo 1 game. It's a different user interface map that allows me to play the campaign maps, which I had to download separately. There's some slight differences in the campaign maps, which you'll see, but they all function normally. Like, they're the same maps as Halo 1. And the reason why I'm using Custom Edition is so I can use the console right down here in the bottom corner. I'll be using that to make checkpoints. I never made one in the actual title stream before. I won't do that. Game save totally unsafe is the command for that, and then there's also a core save, which I'll be using throughout the run. And that allows me to make checkpoints wherever I need to, even in the midst of combat. And it would be more useful to use Custom Edition for this tutorial than the original Halo 1 because I can make those checkpoints. Let's see, what else? There's a few differences, most notably health packs that are on the wall will be on the ground. No difference, they're just like on the ground. Not a major difference. The textures on some levels, like most notably glass, is different. You'll see this in 2 Betrayals. It just looks different, it's the same though. And finally, the other notable difference is Sentinels always have like shields around them. Normally, Sentinels only have shields when you shoot at them or an enemy shoots at them, but in this case they always have shields. Again, no difference, it just looks a little weird. I have a webcam up here on my keyboard. It's a very old keyboard, but any keyboard functions for this game. And I don't know how much this will help or not, and how much you can see, because I can't make it too big, otherwise it would block out some gameplay. But it's there just so if you're having trouble with like button commands for some reason. I use the default controls, and I think I use the default controls. Zoom is on my mouse, so you won't be able to see me zoom in, but everything else besides fire, grenade throwing, and zooming in is over here. And these are my settings. Turn that to high, why not? Video, I'm doing 1680 by 1050. This will be kind of important on keys, but not really anywhere else. But the resolution makes it different on keys, and I'll come back to that later on. Frame rate, no VSync. That gives you about 60 frames per second, or 59, whatever. Everything else is on high. Okay, so let's jump into the first level, Pillar of Autumn. Okay. First thing you want to know is if you're doing speedruns of this game, you can save time by skipping cutscenes. There are some cutscenes that are skippable, some that are not. This one is skippable. Just press enter. On Legendary, there is no tutorial, so you just start right off into the game. Just run towards this door over in the left corner. You'll open this little jump right here. You want to jump so you hit this part up here, like this part. And that way you're not like stuck like that. You know, it's a little time saver, but these things add up over the course of a run. And just make your way to the bridge. There's no real combat. Crouch here. I like to jump there because sometimes that guy backtracks, and objects in like Marines in this game, they're solid objects, so they can block your path. Like that guy could be running down the middle, and then you're trying to run towards the door, and he's just in front of you, and you can't do anything. So I just like to jump there, so I'm always over him. Flashlight if you need to, not really necessary. Right here, there's two different ways you can do this. You can jump like right around here, and you can kind of jump over that guy, or you can run right up to here and jump and hit that ceiling and go over him. If you jump over him, he's not in front of you like this. And then just run over here. So normally you're supposed to run all the way to a cutscene, but just enter this room and backtrack, and the cutscene will start. And then you just smash enter.
Don't keep it low, so
Let me get a save right here. Okay, so this part, it's not difficult, but if you come out of this room too slowly, you will get a pistol. When you get that checkpoint up there, that usually means you're going to get a pistol, and you have to kill these 3 grunts. It doesn't take that long, but it's slower than skipping them, which I'll load the last checkpoint and do. No. That one. That's the one I want. So if you come out here right away, the door will just open. You'll get a checkpoint right there sometimes, and you'll skip those routes.
Those Marines could use some help.
That's your first weapon. There's 2 different routes here. There's a safer route going through that door, but I would not recommend that. This is so early in the map that if you die over here, it's not that big of a deal to restart the level, because you're only like, what, a minute into the level at this point.
Those Marines could use some help, Chief.
So get the gun. Your main priority up here is to get a plasma pistol. You don't need to, but just kind of go over those grunts and get a plasma pistol. And now that we have 2 weapons, there's a trick called backpack reloading that we will be using throughout this entire run. Press reload twice and change your weapon. And then you can kind of hear your weapon reload in the background. Now it's fully reloaded. If you switch weapons too fast, it won't be reloaded. You can see it up there. So you need to wait for your weapon to be actually reloaded before you switch back. Although you can still shoot with your other weapon while it's being reloaded. So that's the main benefit. You reload your weapon and then fire with the other one. Like, you can reload during combat. And we'll be using that quite frequently. Up here, there's an elite. You just bat smack it. That's all. And your goal is to have at least 1 plasma. It becomes very difficult if you don't have plasmas. And what I like to do is shoot these Marines up here and see if they drop frag grenades, because ideally you want 2 frag grenades. They will make the rest of the level really easy, at least the 2 parts where you use them. So I'm just going to revert to save until I get 2 frag grenades. So I just shoot him, then melee him. Let me just do that until I get them, just so I can show you what they're used for later on in the level.
What the hell? Did something just hit us? What the hell?
That guy might not be dropping. Let me try killing another Marine.
What the hell? Did something just hit us?
This level is complete RNG, like most of this game, and stuff like this is completely random. Marines, they usually have a drop for frag grenades, but it's kind of random whether... Okay, I just got 2 frag grenades. It's kind of random whether they actually drop the frag grenades or not. So it's just, sometimes you just need to reload it until that happens. Although during the speed run, you don't want to do that. Okay. So up here, you just run by. Now, sometimes that explosion will hurt you. Let me see if I can get that to happen. If you just run in a straight line. It doesn't look like it's going to happen during this run, but just trust me that the explosion will sometimes happen. So, to avoid taking damage from that explosion, just like kind of go left here a little bit, and you'll skip the damage. Yeah, that part's really easy, you just run by it, that's all. Up here, if you have plasmas, even if you have one, throw it. It makes this hallway a lot easier. So you just throw it kind of in that back corner, and then melee the elite. Really simple. Sometimes they get alerted to you, that usually doesn't happen. One more time. Okay. Now, if you don't have plasmas at this point, like I said, the grenade drops are extremely random, and there is a chance that the grunts you kill at the beginning won't drop plasmas, or the elite won't drop plasmas. I have 3 for this, but let's say we don't. Then all you do is overcharge the elite and just kind of side strafe and melee and kill them and continue on. You'll get a checkpoint here. Now, if you have frag grenades, it makes this very easy. This room very easy. So basically, we don't go over here because additional enemies spawn. Let me see if I can. I just want to save that checkpoint. See if I can get them. Yeah. See these additional enemies spawn? Somehow I almost made it through. I made it through here somehow, but it's usually not that simple. You don't want to risk the chance. So if you go over here, they actually don't spawn unless there's one enemy or no enemies remaining in this room. So to make this room easier with a frag grenade is to just throw it. I like to throw it here. You can also throw it just right here and then crouch and wait for it to explode. And what that does is take care of the grunts, but the elites are still alive. In this game, if you throw a plasma, it kills elites. Let's see if I can get that. Nah, they usually dodge out of the way. But just trust me that the plasma grenade kills elites in one shot. So you don't want that because it has a chance of killing all the enemies. Also, plasma grenades take longer to explode, so it gives enemies a greater chance to move out of the way and move out of the range of the plasma. Whereas a frag grenade will take out the enemies pretty much instantly. And sometimes these guys block you, just like shoot them and melee them to get out of the way. Just throw the grenade, and I like to crouch here and then jump while holding crouch, and that gets you over that.
There's 2 of us in here now, remember?
You can also run and then crouch. It's kind of difficult to do, but it's faster. Run and crouch.
Keep your head down. There's 2 of us
Because you're
in here,
running
remember?
into that thing, so you need to crouch. You can't fit through there. And then, see, after you throw this, it's a lot easier to run. Just run past here. Don't worry about killing them. Pick up this health pad. Normally supposed to be on the wall, and the enemies don't spawn here. Having a frag grenade for that spot really helps. Although, if you only have 1 frag grenade for some reason, I would skip throwing the frag grenade here and save it for later, and just do this room normally by jumping over,
Keep your head down. There's 2 of us in here
shooting
now,
some
remember?
grunts, and just going past. There's a greater chance to die, but again, it's so early in the level that a reset isn't really that big of a deal, which is why we have so many YOLO strats
Keep your
for this
head down.
level.
There's 2 of us in here now, remember?
If you die, you just restart, or just revert to save. One other thing, if you're doing this, you have a chance of being at like really low health, and
Keep your head down. There's 2 of us in here
if
now,
you do have low health, just duck around here, and then duck around. That way the enemies will stop like firing at you, and then you can go to the health pad. because if you just run straight here, the enemies can fire at you from behind. So just kind of like duck around here if you have low health, and then go around here and get the health back. So we go straight here, easy goes left, legendary goes straight here. And we throw a plasma grenade at the elites. Take out these 2 grunts. The grenade should kill basically everything in that room. If not, just clean up. That room is not very difficult. Yeah, we got a checkpoint there. Alright. This room is a major pain. There are quite a few different ways to get through here, but let's see if we can count the enemies. There's a lot of enemies in this small space, and we like to get through here as fast as possible, because killing all the enemies or going really slow takes a long time. And it's so much faster to just kill most enemies and just run through. So the basic setup that basically all the things use is to throw 1 grenade kind of in the middle of that room towards the left, and then immediately after throwing a grenade like there. You don't want the grenades to be too close to each other, otherwise the first grenade will kind of blast that one away, and it has a chance of like coming into this room. So if you just throw this grenade all the way in the left, sometimes you'll stick an enemy. If that happens, just like throw another one if you have it, or just revert to save. It's not that big of a deal. Alright, so at that point, I'll do the safer method with the frag grenade first. So basically, this part, it all comes down to how many grenades you have. Let's say you have a frag grenade and 2 plasmas. So you do the method I was just talking about. Grenade, grenade, switch to frags. Now, these grenades have a chance to explode, like chain react, which just happened. So I like to wait behind here until that grenade goes off. Then come over here and aim somewhere around here. So you want the frag grenade to go over that barrel right there, or whatever that is, and hit that wall down there. And what that does, now see I threw that too low, but it still kind of worked. But you want it to go in the back because sometimes there's 2 elites down there, and you want the grenade to hit the elites so they run and hide, so they're not focused on shooting you. And in addition to that, the grenade will also take out some grunts as well, so you can kind of just run by here. There's also an overshield in there if you're having a lot of difficulty with this room. You can go in there, grab the overshield, and continue. So let me show you what it looks like to do the plasma frag method. Hopefully I get it first try. I like to overcharge and take out one of the elites. And you need a plasma grenade at this point. So if you don't have a plasma grenade, either kind of backtrack and try to kill a grunt for a plasma, or revert to save, because you absolutely need a plasma up here. So that was the grenade method. Let's say you don't have frag grenades, but you have 3 or more plasmas. Do the same thing except with a plasma grenade. But wait a little bit longer, and again I threw that too low, but it still might work. Yeah, so you can kind of get through there. But again, if you only have 3 plasmas, that means you have no plasmas, so you want to make sure you pick up one. So I like to overcharge the elite and then mow him down with the assault rifle. Let's say you only have 2 plasmas, you have 2 different options. You can throw 1 plasma, wait, then throw the other down and kind of go in like that. Or now I died because that elite meleeed me, but he doesn't always melee you. Alright. Or you can do a faster, more riskier method. Kind of do something like this. This is what people used to do before that grenade thing was found, I guess. But I wouldn't recommend this method. You have a really good chance of dying if you do that. Although I guess you could do this. Get in here, grab the overshield, come out, and just like continue on. You could do that. That's fine. Alright. I think I'll make a save here. You can go back and watch that part. Basically, if you have a frag grenade for that room, it just makes it so much easier, because the frag grenade most likely hits the elites down the room. Like, hits the elites if they're up here, and if it does, they kind of like hide. And if it doesn't, like, it usually takes out grunts, which are probably the biggest pain in that room, because there's so many of them and they fire at you. So it takes out the grunts, and it lowers the elite's health. So when you overcharge them, or if you miss the overcharge, like, they should die pretty quickly. It just makes that room so much easier, because with the plasma grenade, they have a chance to dodge out of the way. But I still think the plasma grenade is useful, so if you have 3 or more, I would recommend doing that. Okay, so up here, we're grabbing the pistol. Backpack, reload, get into like this corner right here, like start right here, and throw a frag grenade through that little slit in the hole. Right there. And that should take care of the elites in that room. There's usually a grunt alive right there, so overcharge and melee him. But otherwise, just pick up that health pack on the wall. That's supposed to be on the wall. I'm playing on custom edition, so it's on the ground. So I usually hide around here and then just grab the health pack, go in here, try to pick up grenades if they're on the ground. You basically need 1 plasma grenade. It's possible to do it with no grenades, but it's a lot slower up here. So if you see a grenade and you have no grenades, try to pick it up. It makes it a lot easier. Having 2 is the best option.
They're using our lifeboat airlocks to attach
so
their
go up
boarding
here,
craft.
get a checkpoint. Now, this strat looks risky, throwing a plasma grenade up here and doing a grenade jump, but it's actually not that bad. And you usually get a checkpoint right here. Make sure you kill like all the enemies in here so you get a checkpoint. Then you come up here and you want to jump so your head hits this. And then as you're going up, you want to like throw your plasma at the top there. You might have to experiment with that a little bit. You want it to land on top of the platform.
On the landing above us.
Well, I guess your head doesn't need to hit there.
Covenant, on the landing above us.
I'm throwing it too low. So you want it to land on top.
Covenant, on the landing above us.
So I guess what I do is I jump when I cross this little strip right here. Like I jump and then I throw the plasma up there. You want it to land there and just keep holding forward and jump. And if you're new to Halo 1, crouch jumping allows you to, well, let's use this for example. You can't jump up here normally, you just jump. But if you crouch jump, you can get up there. So it just allows you to jump higher. So when you do a grenade jump, you have a chance of your feet hitting this and not making it. So just like do a little crouch jump, that's all.
Covenant, on the landing above us.
And then go around here. Okay, if you only have 1 plasma grenade, you need a plasma grenade for this hallway. So save the plasma and go a slower route.
Covenant, on the landing above us.
You want to be standing like on this first step or higher. You can't make this jump if you're here. Well, I just did somehow. I've never done that before. But stand on the first step and then crouch jump up here. That's all you have to do. And in Halo 1, unlike other Halos, when you start crouch jumping, you lose like momentum. So to get a higher jump, you want to crouch later, like near the apex of your jump. So when you're doing that jump, crouch near the top of the jump.
Covenant, on the landing above us.
Again, like the first step, and then crouch. And then go around this corner. Okay. So hopefully you have a plasma grenade at this point. If you don't, it's basically run over because it's very hard to do this section without a plasma grenade. Although basically you try to overcharge the elites and then headshot them with the pistol. But and then pistol the grunts. But it's a very slow process. So you really want at least one plasma for this section. Okay, so I don't really have a setup for this. I just kind of throw the grenade when I get to like this point. And you want it so it lands like past. You usually don't want it to stick the grunt, but you want it to land somewhere around here. So I usually throw it when I'm crossing this little platform right here. So you want to do this fast, and then after you throw it, you want to move to the left so the enemies don't see you. Because if you keep running straight, they're going to see you, and your goal is to... I keep sticking that grunt. You throw it more left. Your goal is to catch the enemies by surprise and have the grenade kill them. At least one of the elites. If there's one elite left alive, the other one's pretty easy to take care of, and then you take care of the grunts. But I want to show you one where the grenade works pretty well. I see. I keep sticking that grunt. Okay, that was good. The elite still live. Usually the elite doesn't move out of the way. But okay, let's say you got the grenade. There's basically nothing else for that section. Just throw that grenade. Sometimes the enemies run up here, so if you have another grenade, throw it here to take care of them. This guy is one shot away from death, or 2 shots, because he kind of aggroed. Like, the plasma grenade just barely not killed him, so he was only like a few shots away from death. Okay. At this point, I switch to my pistol and turn on my camo, or my flashlight, and there's 2 grunts here, so I just try to headshot them really fast. And then when you come around this corner, you want to throw a grenade to take out those elites, but you don't want the enemies to be alerted to you. So basically, you want to throw a grenade by the shield, and then quickly come back for cover, and then continue. So the elites kind of just like look at it. Don't worry about the grunt. Your main problem is the elites when they notice you. So if you just do that, like duck behind the corner, should be good. Now sometimes you throw the grenade at a wrong spot, so just kind of overcharge the remaining elite and try to kill him. You don't need to kill him. You can kind of just continue back walking down there and you'll be fine. But yeah, that section's not too difficult. It only becomes an issue when you try to do this fast, which, you know, for every runner doing pillar bottom, that's always the case. So it is a possibility to die there. But continue on. If you need health, grab the health back. And these grunts, just try to kill them as fast as possible.
The Covenant are destroying the life pod.
They're not an issue, and you want to have a plasma grenade at this point, so hopefully they drop plasma grenades. And this door is kind of on a timer. You have no choice but to wait for it. Put on your flashlight and just continue down this way. Alright, I usually turn off my camo, and let's make a... Well, I already got a checkpoint. Alright, this hallway up here, the basic method is to overcharge an elite and then stick the elite, run down the hallway, overcharge the elite down the hallway, and then pistol him to death and just keep running. A lot of sections in this level and in this game are a lot easier if you just kind of run by as fast as possible while the enemies are still kind of in a like frenzied mode. Because lesser enemies in this game, they usually go in the frenzy mode when the elite in the area is killed. So that's your kind of what's happening here. But it's complete RNG where the grunts spawn. That's a decent spawn, I guess. Well, no, not really, because it's really hard to overcharge that red elite right there. You have to kind of aim up. So I guess in this situation, I would just wait longer. So that's what you want to do. When you get down here, if you're on very low health, just like peek around this corner and wait for your health to recharge. And then kind of overcharge the enemy as you go by. But you want to pick up this health path too. And you want to be moving fast because the enemies will focus on you. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're going to die. It happens to everyone. There's glass here, they can't get you. Just like wait for your shields if you don't want to like revert to save. You basically always get a checkpoint in this tunnel unless you get a checkpoint glitch. We don't know exactly what causes checkpoint glitches, but basically that means you just stop getting checkpoints for the rest of the level and there's nothing you can really do about it. So just hope you don't have one. You basically always get a checkpoint here. So just come out, overcharge, stick, health back, overcharge, shoot in the head. And down here, if you have a decent amount of health like this, you can just run straight through. Otherwise, wait in that corner and continue on. Up here is not difficult. Just bat smack this first run and kill the other one. You just run by those grunts. Don't worry about that elite back here. Don't shoot that elite. He won't like notice you, or you won't take damage from him if you just run by to the right. So let's go through here, overcharge this guy and melee him. You can also kill that grunt and you'll get a checkpoint up here. If you don't kill that grunt, you'll always get a checkpoint, and when you die, you go all the way back to that service tunnel, the previous one, where you did like the 2 overcharges on the elite, stuck the 1 elite. So it's useful to get a checkpoint here in case you die later in the level. This level is almost done. So come out here, turn left. Now usually try to hit those grunts, and then, okay, before I do this, your strategy here is going to be different depending on how many grenades you have. I have 4, which is the optimal number you want to have. It's really bad if you don't have any. You want to have, it's possible to do this without any grenades, but it's a lot easier if you have at least 1, 2. Obviously the more the better. But basically you want at least 1 plasma for the very end, so you can kind of subtract from there. If you have 2 grenades, you can use 1 grenade before the very end. If you have 3 grenades, you can use 2 before the very end. 4 grenades, you can save 2 for the end and use 2 before. So we have 4 here. Let me just show you what it looks like with 4. So you're always going to do the same thing here. Just if these grunts are not in a frenzy, it might be better to kill them. That grunt's hiding in there. Might be better to kill them. Wait here for your shields to recharge and then continue. Basically, you want to throw a grenade down there. Then overcharge like the closest elite and go through this door. Now if you have 4 grenades, you can use 2 grenades there. If you have less, use less there. Around here, just to like throw a grenade at the elite. If they didn't all die, you know, throw it again. There's a lot of frag grenades here, plenty of them. Switch to frags, like throw them down. Basically you have a ton of grenades for this part, so just like keep killing enemies. I don't want to trigger the end of the level. The end of the level is when all those enemies die and you go near the dropship door. Let's say you only have 2 grenades. So come out here, either kill all the grunts or run by them. See, they're all shooting at me, so it'd probably be better to kill them all. Wait for your shields. If you only have 2 grenades, I would only throw 1 here. Then overcharge closest elite, go through the store, and then throw your remaining plasma here. And then pick up frag grenades, throw them down there. You know, once these 2 elites are killed, it's usually safe to go and jump over the barrier. And one elite's almost dead. You can also switch to your pistol here. I mean, this part is all combat, but sometimes enemies have a chance to spawn here, or not spawn, but like kind of backtrack from those grenades here. And when you come out, they'll shoot at you while you're focusing on these enemies. So you want to always like kind of be checking to make sure there's no enemies there, especially when your shields are down. Let's say for some reason you only have 1 grenade. Yeah, so these grunts are really dumb sometimes. If you only have 1 grenade, and this is actually not going to work really. I guess try getting the store. Okay, it did work. Try getting the store and then use your 1 grenade down here. And then pick up the frag grenades. Throw them down. And there's grunts down there. It's usually quicker to throw the frag grenade down and kill them. Be aware for chain reactions when you throw these frag grenades.
Get aboard before it launches.
Don't want to trigger the end of the level yet. Make sure like everything is exploded here before you jump over, because it's really easy to die here, and it's basically you have to restart your run because usually your checkpoint's all the way back in that one tunnel. So you just want to play it kind of safe in this final area. You have a ton of grenades here, and you can just keep spamming the grenades, and eventually the elites will die. So when you're done, just trigger the end of the level by coming over here after every enemy is killed. In both of those cutscenes, the end of the level and the beginning are skippable, so you can skip them. I think there was a checkpoint there. Okay, so for this, the intended route is to cross that bridge and then go up, but that triggers some banshees and enemies up there, which we do not want. So you'll only have 2 frag grenades, so make sure you pick up 2 here and just continue over to this rock over here.
Warning. I've detected multiple Covenant dropships on a
Make a save right here. There's 2 different ways to go about this. I usually jump right before this grass ends onto this rock, and then pause a little bit. Like you'll notice from playing this game that the jumps are kind of delayed. Like you don't jump immediately, and you also need kind of a running start. So you want to pause before you jump again after coming on here. So jump on there.
Alert,
and then you want to jump onto this part right here.
I recommend immediate evasion.
And then sometimes you have to crouch if you have a bad like start. The first method would be to come up to like this flat spot right here on the ground, right up here, and then aim somewhere around here. To it does have to be perfect. I don't think this will work. It will. It did. Okay. But just aim down. You kind of want the grenade to hit your body, so then it just like sits on the ground. And you're going to be doing a grenade jump to skip the trigger of the enemies up here. Jump up here. Like you want to do this kind of fast, but it doesn't need to be very fast. Throw the grenade as you're against the wall, and then back up slightly, and then you jump and you hold crouch at the top. That's basically how you do this. Back up slightly, jump, and then crouch at the top, and you'll get up. It's not too hard of a jump, but you are under some like time pressure to do it, because if you go too slow, the enemies will spawn. Back up, jump, and crouch here at the top, and you'll get up. You can rewind that to watch that a few more times, but there's also one other method. Jump up here and stay near the bottom and kind of align your crosshair here. And you want to have the grenade bounce off and just like kind of sit. That's another method. See how it kind of like just sat there? Just bounce off slightly. You don't want to bounce it off like really high, otherwise it'll fall down. Bounce it off slightly. And then as soon as you throw the grenade, start running and then jump when you get to the grenade. And then crouch. I did that wrong. Let's try that one more time. A lot of these tricks are harder to do when you're explaining, so it's just easier to do it full speed. Yeah, then you crouch at the end. They're about the same speed. That one might be a little bit slower, but that's the one I used, the one I just did. Because I like it a lot more than the other one.
The Covenant will believe that everyone aboard this lifeboat died in a crash.
I didn't start running fast enough after I threw the grenade. That's probably the reason why I'm failing it. You want to start running as soon as you throw the grenade, and then you come out here. Alright, let's continue. So this level, unlike most of the levels in this game, is not very linear. Like, it's very, very open compared to most levels. So you kind of have options what you want to do. And the combat is also open, which is very difficult in some circumstances. But so you only have a pistol and assault rifle, and there are elites up here. So your goal is to get a plasma pistol from the 4 grunts that you see first. So this is pretty straightforward, just running. Alright, you want to make sure not to jump here. If you jump here for some reason, you don't get a checkpoint.
I'm reading a lifeboat.
So you got a checkpoint right there. Let me save that. Jump over this rock, and there are 4 grunts. Let's say 5 grunts and 2 elites. 4 grunts on this side, 2 elites, and 1 grunt on the other side. So you want to come around here. I was a little bit late, so they're not all like in a pack. You want to do this fast. So you want to come around here and just take care of the 4 grunts first. Sometimes they'll be a pain and start running away. But when you get to a plasma pistol, you want to pick up as soon as possible. And then your next goal is to take out the elites, which can be a major pain. Like, I die here all the time. Like, it's not easy to do it all. And it's honestly easier to do at full speed than try to explain it in steps. So this part is all combat, and it's just something that you have to get better at. Like, strafing a lot helps, because then the enemies aren't always landing their shots on you. There's nothing else I could really say about that. Basically, take care of those 4 grunts first, then try to find a plasma pistol, use it to take out the elites and kill that remaining grunt once you do. I mean, that's the basic plan. Sometimes the elites come over early and you have to deal with them, but in general you want to find the plasma pistol as fast as possible, take out the elites using the noob combo, or you could rapid pistol fire the elites, and then take out all the enemies. And these 2 Marines at the bottom, they trigger the next dropship that comes in. So you want to have ideally 4 grenades at this point, but the enemies don't always drop 4 grenades. You want to collect as many plasmas as possible, but you want to make sure you don't trigger usually I think it's the white Marine that you don't want to get near or close to if you're not ready yet. So basically, try to collect all your grenades away from these 2 Marines, like the white Marine and Johnson. And then when you're ready, go near them and kill one of them to save dialogue, and the dropship comes a little bit faster. And also, they might drop a frag grenade. You only have 3 at this point because you used one earlier. If you fail that one jump, I would not fail it more than twice. If you fail it twice, restart the level. It's not a big restart. But you want to have a lot of frag grenades. You don't want to be wasting them all. So after those enemies are killed, go get your plasmas and then kill one of these Marines. Doesn't matter which one. Ideally, you'll pick up a frag grenade, but make your way up here. Switch to plasmas, come over here, get a frag grenade and health. Come down here, and when you land, crouch right before you land and you'll avoid taking fall damage. In this game, you can take fall damage, but if you crouch before you land, you'll lessen the fall damage, and in some cases take none. As a consequence of that, if you crouch too early, you'll take a lot of fall damage. So you want to time it right. It's just something you have to practice and get a feel for yourself. I can't really tell you when to crouch, but try crouch right before you hit the ground. And then make your way over to this dropship. Right here. If you get over here super early, this line right here, don't cross it, otherwise the dropship won't come down. Like if you get here earlier than I did. So if you get here early, just like wait here for it to start to drop, and then go forward. So we're a little bit late, so we can go full speed. Okay, so on that side, there's a random number of, or the enemies that spawn on the side are kind of random. It's usually 2 jackals, 2 grunts, but I think it could be like 3 jackals, 1 grunt, stuff like that. But don't worry about them for now. The other side only has 2 elites spawn there. Like always 2 elites, but you want to stick them. It's a lot easier to kill them. So come over here. Let me make a save right here because I'll do this a few times. So they always spawn in those 2 positions right there, like not in these 2. So focus on the right side of the ship, and you want to stick the one on the right first. And this is something you kind of have to get a feel for because the dropship's coming down at an angle. So when you look up, they're like coming down at an angle, so you have to kind of anticipate where they're going to be when you throw the grenade. But I usually aim for the crotch area, because as they're coming down, crotch area is the lowest part that's pretty wide, and if they jump out of the ship and they lower, you can still like stick them like in their upper body or head. Whereas if you aimed at the head normally, when they jump out of the ship, you might miss them because they'll drop down. So I just aim for the crotch for both of them. Basically all the elites that I stick. And just stick them as soon as possible, really. Then come over here, switch to frag grenades, and throw it sooner than I did. I was kind of going slow for the sake of the tutorial, but you want to take out these lesser enemies with the frag grenade, and then use your pistol to clean up, or use your plasma pistol. So let me show you what that looks like in real time. And then just clean up enemies, swap out your plasma pistol, try to collect as many plasmas as you can. You want, like, if you have 4 grenades here, you're set for the rest of the level. If your health is somewhat low, grab this health pack. And I guess one other thing to note about these dropships is that the next dropship will spawn when there are 2 enemies remaining. So if you kill the 2 elites, and then your frag grenade only kills like 1 of the lesser enemies, and there's 3 running around, the next dropship's going to be delayed until 1 of those 3 enemies dies. And as soon as there are only 2 enemies alive, the next dropship will spawn. So if you only have 2 enemies, you do not want to delay the combat, because the other dropship could drop while those 2 enemies are alive. So you want to take care of them as soon as possible. And that's why you want to take out the elites first, because elite combat is usually really slow. So come over here, grab the health pack if you need it. And then I usually wait at this tree. Don't go before this tree. If you go before the tree, dropship just won't come down. So yeah, you can see it coming down now. Actually, let me redo that. I want to make a better save. Have your plasmas out?
Look sharp! Covenant dropship on approach! I can use some help over here!
Okay, let me make a save right here. Alright, for this dropship, the elites never glitch into the ground, so we don't try to stick the elites. We just throw a grenade on the ground where they land, and that hopefully takes care of them. The first dropship, they have a chance to glitch into the ground, so it's a lot more consistent to stick them. These enemies, however, it's a lot more consistent to just throw the grenade on the ground. It's a lot faster too. Now, basically a rule of thumb is you want the grenade to hit the ground when the ship stops moving, like that. Now sometimes there's going to be an enemy alive, that happens. It's complete RNG whether or not the grenade kills them, because the enemies have a chance to exit the ship early, normal, or late, and the direction they, like, when they dodge out of the way of the grenade, sometimes they dodge into the ship, so they stay in the blast radius. Other times they dodge like way out here and then miss it completely. It's just totally random what these enemies do. But the best thing to do is just throw a grenade here in that general area. See, that time it killed both of them. Usually that grunt survives, so he's not a big deal to take care of. But after you throw that grenade, switch to frag grenades and throw one at the other side of the ship to take care of those enemies. Then come back and take care of the elites if they're still alive. I usually overcharge my plasma pistol after I throw the frag grenade in case there's an elite alive, and I can overcharge him. So this is what I do every time. Throw a grenade, switch over here. See how that he was still alive? Now this is kind of bad. It happens. But you want to focus on the elite. And sometimes you just get really unlucky and that happens. Now again, they were the only two enemies alive. So the next dropship spawned and I might have been late. So that's really bad. So let's try that again. And I still have a lot of trouble with these dropships. Yeah, go over here and take care of this grunt, pick up plasmas, take care of the other enemies, and move on. So I'll do that one more time. Okay, took out them. So yeah, they're all dead. No, just pick up grenades, ammo. Don't spend too much time. Take this route. You want to beeline it over here as soon as possible after you kill those enemies. And I usually come over here behind this rock. And again, if you get too close, the dropship will not come down. So I stay behind this rock. Like if you stay, no, see, it's already coming down. But I usually stay around here. Now this ship, we stick the elites because, let me see. Yeah, see that one elite glitched to the ground and came up over here. So it's not really consistent to throw grenades on the ground. It's a lot easier to stick them. So what I do is stick them. Again, aim for the crotch area because if they jump out of the ship, they'll start descending, and if you aim like upper chest or head, you'll miss. And I stick them. I make sure this grunt gets killed. Go around here. Take care of two of these grunts. Reload, and then kind of make your way over here, turn around, and take care of the other two. That's what I do. And then, because this ship over here comes down really fast, so you want to be moving over here when two enemies get killed. These first three ships are not that bad. The 4th and 5th ships are a lot more difficult. So let me do that one more time. So stick the 2 elites, turn around, kill that grunt if he's not dead, and then kill 2 of the grunts. Over here, and then reload, come over here, turn around. There are faster ways to do this, but this is probably the safest. Alright. You want to have 1 grenade for this area right here. Again, after the 2nd dropship, I usually scavenge, whatever you want to use, the area for plasma grenades. You want to have at least 3 going into that area. 2 for those sticks and 1 for this ship. So after you throw that 1 plasma, the 1 frag, take care of the enemies, you want to look around for grenades really fast. You don't want to spend too much time because the other ship will come down, and if the ship already comes down, it's really difficult to take care of the enemies. You want to take care of the enemies like as soon as the ship drops. So you want to have 1 plasma for this area, for this ship. Now this ship can be really difficult. I think I got lucky with this spawn and there were not 3 elites, but sometimes 3 elites spawn on this side, and that is really bad. Yeah, 2 elites and a jackal, it's not too bad. So same basic thing as the 2nd ship. Throw a grenade, frag, come back over here and take care of the enemies. Plasma, frag, come over here, they're all dead. And then they're all dead. So, you do not get a checkpoint in between the 4th and 5th ship, which is why the 4th and 5th ship can be really difficult. Let's see, for newer players it's a lot easier to come back here. Let me make a save. It's a lot easier to come back here and just pistol the enemies from here. You want to take care of all the grunts. Usually what I used to do was kill the 2 grunts on the left, switch to frag, and throw it to kill those 2. And then there's only 1 elite and a jackal over there, so I kind of keep my distance, try to overcharge the elite, headshot them, and then take care of the jackal. Now, it might be a lot easier to overcharge the jackal and then pistol him, but this is what I do. It's really consistent. And if you get into a bad spot, you can hide behind the hill, like you're not in an open area. So just wait for, you could overcharge either the jackal or the elite. That elite usually sticks to that little spot right there. So you can kind of wait for him to stand there, and he usually does not move if you overcharge him for some reason. Do it one more time. Alright, so after you kill them, make your way over here to grab the additional frag grenades. Up here.
Roger, Echo 419. This is Fire Team Charlie. We read you. Is that you, Hammer?
You don't have to jump on this guy.
Roger,
He can just go off the ramp.
Good to hear from you.
Pick up the remaining frag grenades, health pack if you need it, drop down, crouch again near the bottom.
Look, more lifeboats. They're coming in fast. Those lifeboats make it down.
There is a method involving a needler, so I'm going to pick one up
We need you to disengage your warthog. The Master
just
Chief
to
and
show
I
it
are
off.
going to see if we can save some soldiers.
And,
Roger, Cortana.
let's see, pick up any frag or plasma grenades on the ground.
Okay.
They just make the rest of the level easier in case you need them. And have your needler out if you want the needler strats. I personally don't use a needler, I use a plasma pistol, but that's fine. Just get in here and continue on. This part is real easy, it's just driving. You just hold W and turn with the mouse. And warthog driving is just something you have to get used to. It's not like driving in other games.
This cave is not a natural formation. Someone
I
built
hope
it,
that volume
so it
isn't
must
too
lead
loud.
somewhere. I've hacked
I hope
into
it
the
wasn't
Covenant
echoing
battle
before. Sorry if it was.
actually broadcasting tactical data on unencrypted channels. We should show them who they're
So
dealing
this is
with.
the general path.
Master
Up
Chief,
here,
I'm going. Use your
you
suit's transcom
can
system to monitor their
kind of align
channel.
yourself straight and go off like that, and go up the jump, or you can kind of hit the wall. This is what I do. You kind of just run into the wall and then go up. Either way is fine. They're both about like the same time. Around here, you always get a checkpoint here. I've never had a checkpoint glitch on this level, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, this is the path you want to take. Alright, make a save right here because this next track is interesting. So, probably wasn't the best save to make. But, okay, so there's we only do in this level, I think, called a Warthog Flame. And basically, when you're full speed, if you exit the Warthog and kind of turn it, you can get hit by it. Hit by it when you jump. As opposed to just like getting out of it. You could jump and gain more distance and get hit by it. And that's the basis behind this next trick. Oh, we also do it in Silent Cartographer as well. But you can kind of practice it anywhere. Just exit and then kind of turn the Warthog and jump out of it. So you can get some pretty good distance with it. But anyway, over here. Hopefully I don't get killed. There's a little ledge right here. This thing. Your idea is to do a Warthog. Don't want that jackal near. Okay. Your idea is to do a fling into this. Just save it in case I get a checkpoint. Your goal is to. Okay. Whatever. Your goal is to fling into this. So when you jump, your feet are kind of at this corner, and you get propelled upwards over here. Because normally you can't jump up this. And normally you are supposed to. There's like a path over there that leads up to that switch. But if you go up that path, you activate a cutscene. And if you do this, you skip the cutscene. And also, you have to fight some elites that spawn like in the tunnel. And that's just slow and not consistent. So it's a lot easier to do the fling against here. Jump as you're getting out of the Warthog and land up there. So I'm going to do it a few times. To show you what it looks like. So yeah, I got up. That time I did not. I mean, it's kind of like that time I did not. I got out too early. That time I almost made it. Anyway. What I do is I slow down around this corner, like I let go of W, and then I speed up again, and as I'm turning, I get out of the Warthog. That was bad. Okay. Slow down, speed up again, as I'm turning, get out of the Warthog, and you want to be closer to the wall. You get out. Can't do this. Hard. When you're trying to explain it. I almost. There. It's just something you're going to have to practice. Probably a good way to practice it is to run over all the enemies down here, and maybe you'll get a checkpoint down here, or you could practice like over there. I don't know if you will or not, but you gotta get a checkpoint and then kind of practice this over and over again. Yeah, once you get up here, there's two different ways. If you have the needler, you can kind of backtrack and needle those elites. You also can throw plasma grenades down there. I don't do this because it's slower, like backwalking and stuff. You kind of do that to take care of the elites, and then hit the switch, and you won't get the cutscene. It'll just start activating. and it'll be good by the time you get down there. The other way is to run right up here and just go straight towards the switch, having a plasma pistol. Activate it, overcharge that first guy, and just come right down. Either way is fine. I'll just do this. Alright, so hit the switch, jump down. You want to make sure you go over this little part right here so you won't fall down. And then kill the gunner. And continue on.
There's new traffic on the Covenant battle network.
There's nothing really to do up here.
A lot more crew made it off the Autumn than I predicted.
No enemies.
The captain really gave them hell.
Optimize your driving, I guess.
If we can find Captain Keyes and the other survivors, we have a chance to
Alright, so this outdoor area coming up, there are different ways to do it. Like I said before, it's not a linear map. There's a lot of possibilities. There's 3 different areas out here. 3 different areas. But I'm just going to go the speed run route because it's the fastest. Basically, you're supposed to kill all the enemies in the area. And then a Pelican comes to rescue the Marines. But you can also kill the Marines and still progress through the level without having to kill the enemies. If you need a health pack, there's a health pack right here. And also a sniper rifle, but don't pick that up. We'll be getting one later. So come over here to this area, and here we're doing another Warthog flame to go over these pipes.
Maybe they took cover in that
right
structure.
Here.
Let's check
These
it
pipes.
out.
We're entering the structure. How do I get out? We're entering the structure through that door right there, and we want to go over the pipes. There's a few enemies, 2 jackals and like 3 elites maybe there, that we don't want to engage with combat if we walk through the pipes around. So we want to like jump over the pipes with a Warthog flame. And there's 5 Marines underneath the structure. And once they're all killed, we can exit this area and it's complete. So that's basically what we're doing. It's very fast to do it this way, as opposed to killing all the enemies in the area, because there's a lot of enemies plus about like 2 dropships that come, like very, very, very slow. A lot faster, just go in, kill the Marines, come out. So basically,
Maybe they took cover.
You want to start exiting your Warthog when you get in the shadow area, basically. And you want to turn your Warthog slightly, like turn your view. You're looking straight down. You want to turn your view like just over a little bit, and then as you're turning, get out. And also, you want to slow down at the top. If you keep full speed, you're going to go airborne here, and you don't want that. You want to stay on the ground. So, let go of W up here.
Maybe they took cover in that structure.
You get to the shell, start getting out, turning, and like hold spacebar. That's all you have to do.
Maybe they took cover in that structure. Let's check it out.
Do that a few times. Again, this is something that is kind of hard to explain, but once you get a feel for it, it's not that bad. It's a little bit more consistent if you don't turn that much for some reason, as opposed to like turning like all the way that way. But again, just do this, go inside.
Let's check it out.
Now, if something like this happens, you have no choice but to either revert or go through like this. We'll just say I went through like that. Okay. There's 2 grunts here. Just like headshot them. See that grunt? I missed like every single shot as a headshot. So you want to kill these 2 grunts so they don't shoot at you on your escape, because you want full shields for your escape. There's actually a trigger you need to go into this room to activate, but you're going to want to go in that room anyway to make sure all the Marines are dead. So you have frag grenades. Marines in this, well, 4 of them died. There's 5 Marines down here. You want 5 of them dead, and then you can continue. So there's 5 still alive. Throw basically all your frag grenades. You don't need to save any for later on. And I like to count. You can either like kind of come out here to make sure all the enemies, all the Marines are dead, or you can kind of count how many you kill. I like to count, and then if I can't see a Marine, I kind of check down there. But I saw like 3 of them die there, 1 over there, and then that one, and all 5 should be dead. Usually, if Marines are over here, they'll be killed by the jackals. It's back here where they can hide. That's a problem. Like if they're alive and they're hiding, they'll stay hiding back here as you leave the area, and they won't register as killed. Like they won't come out here and get killed by the jackals. So yeah, not too bad of an area. Like there's no real combat. You don't want to shoot the Marines if you don't have to, because they can aggro on you. Throwing grenades is a lot safer option. So yeah, there's 3 over there, 1 there, and 1 somewhere else, so we can leave. Okay, up here I'll make a save. Now sometimes elites come right here, so I like to have a plasma pistol charge ready in case they come, and then I overcharge them, stick them, and kind of hide back here as they die. But I also have an overcharge for the jackals out there, so I overcharge regardless. I come over here, I back up against this wall, and I do a crouch jump up here. Now, normally you can't make this. Okay, I keep saying that, but apparently you can. It's a lot harder to make that jump if you're standing straight by it, as opposed to kind of running at it. So it's a lot easier to run at it and crouch near the top of your jump, and you'll kind of go up it. Not too bad of a jump. This jump, however, is a little bit more tricky because in Halo 1, you need like a running start. You need a running start. I was trying not to get a running start, but if you try jump instantly,
We didn't rescue any of the Marines.
Yeah, just trust me, you need a running start. So kind of back up against the wall, and then kind of hold forward, and then right after you hold forward, jump. And that should get you over it. Overcharge the jackal, like any jackals that are nearby. Just like one overcharge is fine. And then get in your warthog. None are nearby, get in your warthog, drive away. So that's the first area. It's not that difficult.
We should search the interior of those structures before we leave.
You will get a text confirmation in the upper left-hand corner that says search for additional survivors when they're all killed. It'll pop up depending on how fast you exit the area. It just popped up for me. It could pop up earlier or later. Okay, so in here, just take this general path.
Survivors detected.
You want to go through here. There's a health path there, but I would not recommend getting it because after you get it, there's a lot of enemies focused on you, and it's hard to, you basically lose any health you gained. Just take this general path. We go save up here. Okay, you want to run over one of these Marines, not the sniper. So ideally you want to do something like that and have the other Marines get in. Now sometimes Marines can teleport in, like that Marine, from below. So you just kill him. And then get in. You want the sniper. If there's one Marine you need, it's the sniper. Once you have them, you can continue. Now, there's Marines below, but we're not killing them. We're letting the enemies kill them. You can kind of look on your radar. Once the Marines get in your Warthog, if there's still yellow dots, that means they're not all dead. So just kind of like fire your pistol to have the enemies come into the area to kill the Marines. If there's nothing on your radar, I should do that faster because that dropship came. Alright, so run over this guy. If you run over both, that's fine. Like it's not necessary, but you kind of want to have. And sometimes they're just major pains. So sometimes it's easier just to kill one of them. Like this. Alright, yeah. So you kind of want some speed to get onto this rock. and then aim towards that tree, like little slightly left of that tree, and kind of tilt your view to the left as you go off, so you don't like I didn't have enough speed there because I stopped to show. Yeah, aim somewhere over here and just kind of tilt to the left so you don't flip your Warthog, and just continue on. You would get another text and voice confirmation from Cortana.
What are you doing? We have to stay with the Marines.
Yeah, search for last survivors. What are you doing? We have to search for the Marines. When you go around that thing right there, slow down. Otherwise you can tip, and you don't want your Warthog to tip. So then this is the last area coming up. This area, you need to kill all the enemies.
And secured the Pillar of Autumn's crash site.
So the general route I take is coming right down here,
The captain is still alive.
killing these two jackals if you can, and just kind of taking this general circular path
Let's hurry and find
to run over all the
link
elites.
up with the rest of the survivors.
If you don't get them, you can spend time here. It depends how confident you are with your combat with the sniper. But yeah, take them out, come up here. I like to angle so the sniper has a good view of everything. Come up here, swap out your plasma pistol. That guy, you want dialogue. That will trigger the end of the level. And then there's 2 elites here, 3 elites down there that you ran over, 3 jackals, and how many grunts? Like 3 maybe? So you can kind of eliminate or subtract the enemies based on how many you killed down there. And then these 2 elites, usually grab the sniper and shoot them. Now sometimes if they're sitting over here, these jackals. Okay, let's see. Sometimes if they're sitting over here, just in case I get a checkpoint, and you shoot them once and kind of miss, they'll retreat and hide behind here, and it's kind of slow. So you want to like take care. You want to make sure you have like 2 rounds in your sniper. You don't want to have 1 round who reload and then try to kill them, because that usually won't work. So let me do this area how it's supposed to be done, like faster speed. It's not the one I wanted. Huh. Checkpoint isn't the one I want. That's not good. Yeah. Alright. Well, run over those Marines, kill those elites. They're right here. Not sure how I didn't die. Alright, after they're dead, I personally like to come down here. Other people drive over there, but I personally like to come over here in case there's a jackal coming around the corner right here. Okay, so basically there's one more ship that comes down. You kind of want to take care of these enemies fast and move on for that ship that's coming down. So after you're done, get in your drive down here. Try to run over a jackal if he's down here. He's not going to be. And come over here where the dropship's going to be. Now there's 2 elites that jump out right here. You can run over, and then a 3rd one in the middle of the tree. So basically you just take that roundabout path. And then you can get out your Warthog and then snipe the 2 jackals.
That's the last of them.
When you get that last of them, all the enemies are killed. Now, sometimes the jackals hide up there in the hill, so you might want to stay in your Warthog and drive up there and kill them. But once the elites are done, there's basically no chance of dying, so you can kind of take out these grunts over here and then snipe the jackals if they're coming down. Once you hear Cortana say that's the last of them, the level trigger, the trigger for the end of the level happens. Now, it's very important for the 1st and 2nd area to kill all the or make sure all the Marines are killed, because if they aren't, you're going to not soft lock the level, but basically ruin your run. Because then, after you kill every enemy in this area, they're going to point you to go to the last area. and that's really slow. That adds like 5 minutes because you have to drive over there and then kill all the enemies. Because it's the last area, you can't kill the Marines. It's just really slow, so you want to really avoid that. Make sure the 5 Marines in the first area are killed. Make sure there's no Marines on your radar for the second area. If you don't get the confirmation for the second area being cleared, backtrack if you don't want to restart your run. That'll be a lot faster in entering the third area. That's basically all I can say about that. Let's continue, just get in the ship,
Get aboard and let's get
and
out
you
of
can just mash enter to end the level.
The enemy has
This
captured
cutscene is not
Captain
skippable.
Keyes and are holding him aboard one of their cruisers, the Truth and Reconciliation. The ship is currently holding position approximately 300 meters above the other end of this plateau.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air? The Corps issued me a rifle, not wings.
There's a gravity lift that ferries troops and supplies between the ship and the surface. That's our ticket in.
Once we get inside the ship,
Alright,
we should be
I
able
usually
to lock
zoom
onto
in
the tracking
and
signal for
put my
Captain Keyes'
night
girl
vision on,
interference.
Get 'em,
and then
Marines. Go,
head
go,
up
go,
here
go.
to this rock area up here. I kind of forget how I did this when I was starting off, but I can try to remember what I did. But
By the hour.
you basically always
Stick to
want
the
to
higher
start with
ground
the
to the
same
right.
thing.
We should be able to
Come up
recon
here,
the Covenant position without
take
being
out the
spotted.
2 elites, 2
I
shots,
detected
1
Covenant
body
stationary
shot, 1
guns
headshot.
the next pass.
Backpack,
I recommend
reload,
using your
take out these
sniper
2
rifle to take out the
jackals.
gunners while I call for Marine support.
That's basically what you always want to do. Now, if you're just starting off, you might want to take out more enemies, so you kill more grunts.
Don't open fire until you hear the enemy return fire on us. That should let us keep the element of surprise.
I mean, you'll need to take everything out, but you want to take out a decent amount of enemies. Alternatively, what the faster runners do for this level is just take out the elites and then the 2 jackals. Now, sometimes you'll have a blue elite run to the other side. If that happens, just take out the 1 elite, take out the 2 jackals, then kind of focus on the blue elite over there. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll make a save here. So, when you round this corner, you can also melee these guys. When you round this corner, there's going to be elite coming around. Shoot him twice to kill him. And then take care of these runs as well. And again, I'm backpack reloading constantly on this level. So, my ammo is reload it. But yeah, you want to take out this elite when he comes around the corner. Then take out the grunts. And then keep moving and throw a frag grenade. You want to pick up a plasma pistol and kill any remaining grunts. Throw a frag grenade to take out those jackals. Then come up here. You want to try to take out the jackal and the grunt. And then at this point, I would recommend backtracking until you get a checkpoint. Now, usually there are enemies down here. If you didn't kill as many at the start, I basically killed every enemy, so I got a checkpoint like right away. But sometimes enemies will backtrack, so kill them, wait around here for a checkpoint, then proceed. So I got one. So I'll come back here, I'll reload. Now there will be a blue elite running around, so you just kind of kill enemies until you find that blue elite and then kill him. He's hiding. That blue elite can be really dumb. Like, it's so hard to peek around these bushes and everything. So after that blue elite's dead, throw a frag grenade down there. Overcharge, come around here, overcharge the ray elite, snipe him, throw a plasma at that turret, and then continue. And then you want to pick up grenades, and what is that? Health pack if you need it. Then come up this rock and snipe any grunts here. Come down, snipe these 2 grunts. There should be 2 there, but there's not. Oh yeah, there's the other one. And then a elite will come around the corner, so overcharge him and then snipe him. and then I like to throw a grenade down there. You want to save your frag grenades at this point after that ammo cache and come around the corner and kill that. Okay. Let me just do that again. So come up here, kill that blue elite. There's also something else I should mention. When you don't want to backpack reload, you can kind of shoot a little bit faster if you reload, and after the ammo goes in, melee. You can kind of fire a little bit sooner. So I like to melee, then zoom in, and then fire. You could fire a little bit quicker than normal. He's dead. Continue, throw a frag grenade, switch to plasma, overcharge this guy, snipe him, throw plasma at that turret, continue. Then pick up an ammo cache, come up this rock, shoot. Grunt, there should be 2 grunts down here, kill them. Then the elite should be coming around the corner. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get him, but usually he'll pop around that rod and just stand in place, so he's pretty easy to get. Kill him, throw a grenade down there.
Covenant forces detected up ahead. Path up on the left.
Kill these grunts and continue. Wait for this elite to come around the corner. Alright, he is being really dumb right now. Usually he's not frenzied like that. But he usually stands in place near the edge and kind of just stands there. So once you see him, shoot him, and he's usually easy to kill. If not, you kind of have to go up here. Actually, I would recommend just reverting to save if something like that happens. Until you kill him. See, he's frenzied for some reason. It's really dumb. Yeah, and then there's one more elite down here. Sometimes he comes around that rock, like he is now, because shoot him. Other times he's behind here, so you just overcharge him and then shoot him with the sniper, and then get the camo. That part's not really bad. You just run by all of these enemies. You don't worry about them. You just worry about the 2 elites. Now, just jump past those 2 elites. Alright, I should have gotten a checkpoint there right then, so I'll make a save. Okay, so for this section, there are 4 grunts down here, 2 jackals, 5 grunts up there, and an elite. Okay, this part is kind of tough to explain, so I'll try to do it before I do anything. The 4 grunts down here. Okay, I went too far. Let me save this checkpoint. Let me try to explain this as best I can. These 4 grunts down here can spawn in random positions. They can spawn this spot, 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 I think right here, and right here, and maybe right there. Like, there's a lot of different possibilities for these 4 grunts, so you kind of have to go through all the possibilities to see where they are. The basic path I take is I look up here first. If they're not here, I come down here, check them, come around this rock, check them, come around here, check them, and then over here. That's the basic path I take, like kind of zigzag around. It doesn't really matter what order you kill them. So, one up there, one down here, come around here, 1, 2, where's that last one? I missed one. There's supposed to be one more. I'm gonna feel really dumb. I only killed 3. There's supposed to be 4 down here. I'm not sure where the other one is. I really don't know. There's supposed to be 4 down here. I am missing one really badly. I don't know why. I'm really confused. Just trust me that there are usually 4 grunts down here. and then bat smack the jackals from behind. You want to do this kind of fast because you want your camo to last long. I usually pick up a plasma pistol at this point. Alright, then I come up here, make a save here. There is usually a grunt always sleeping here. Kill him. And then there's usually either 1 or 2 grunts here. Kill them. And then the elite comes running. Oh, it took way too long. This is bad. Okay. Kill the grunts. The elite comes over sometimes. Bat smack the elite. Okay. Now, let's see. There's 1, 2. Are there only 2? No, there's the other one. Okay. Okay. So basically, there's a trigger. Let me load up Spark Edit really quick to show you what I mean. Okay. Let's go to Miner Capture, Spark Edit. Let me load up Truth and Reconciliation. A50. Alright, so this is the outside area. That is the grab lift fight, so this is where we want to be. This is the area I'm currently in. This is, oh, okay, here we go. We can see all these orange, like yellow boxes on the ground? These are all the positions that the grunts can spawn in. So yeah, on 2 sides of that rock. See, up there, right there. 1 can spawn there as well. 1, 2, 3. That's a jackal spawn. And 1 can spawn there. Okay, anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. There's a trigger for the pelican to drop off the Marines, and it is this trigger right here. Is it dropship trigger? No, I believe it's this one. No, it is this one. Dropship trigger. Anyway, when you cross this, this also extends up here. So when you cross like that rock right there, okay, this is actually really confusing to explain, but I'm just going to assume that you're going to cross this trigger before you kill all the enemies, basically. Let's just assume that, because on Legendary it's very, very rare to get early waves, which can happen when you kill enemies. Basically, if you kill all the enemies before you cross this yellow trigger right here, early waves will come down the dropship, and you actually do not want that. So basically, like I said before, there's okay, there's the trigger. I'm gonna go back to the game now. There's the trigger. Let's see, go back to Custom Edition. Why isn't that working? Oh, I turn off webcam instead of monitor capture. Okay. Alright. I didn't mean to turn off webcam. That's it. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So basically, 4 grunts on the bottom, 2 jackals, 5 grunts up top, 1 elite. So the dropship will come. The dropship with enemies will come when there are 2 enemies remaining in the area. Okay, so when there are 2 remaining, you want to make sure you find those 2 and kill them, because later on we're going to need to keep track of enemies in this area. It's kind of confusing to explain, especially when the enemies are now why is he being alerted? It's really dumb. Okay. So elite's dead, there's 3 enemies left. There's always a grunt here. Please don't. Okay, now the dropship's gonna come. There's 1, and there's the last grunt. Oh, alright. So let me make a save right here. Okay. Now starts the really combat intensive part of this level, basically these enemies still count as being in the area before the dropship or the lift enemies come down. So you want to kill all these enemies so that you know how many enemies are left in the area, because the way the grab lift enemies work is, so for this dropship, 2 or less from enemies when it spawns. For these lift waves, 8 of them, 1 enemy or fewer in the area will spawn the next wave. So you want to keep track of your enemies. When there's 1 remaining, the next lift wave will spawn. So when there's 2 enemies remaining, you want to kill that 1 enemy. Is that guy always there? No. Okay, one of those drones went over there. Okay. So when there's 2 enemies remaining, you want to kill one of those enemies and then get ready to take out the next wave that comes down the ship, which I'll kind of explain. But for this, I throw a plasma around here for the jackals when the ship, so that took out the jackals, and there's 1 grunt. And then I switch to frag grenades after I throw that plasma. Okay, so let's do this in steps. Plasma, switch to frag, kill that 1 grunt that comes down there, and then you can see those enemies already spawned. But when you kill that grunt, switch to sniper, throw a frag at the lift. And basically what you want to do for this lift fight, every time a wave is going to come down, you want to throw a frag grenade and then snipe the elite ones. And hopefully the frag grenade takes out all the lesser enemies and then damages the elite, and then the sniper shot will kill the elite. That's the basic plan, and then you rinse and repeat. After you run out of frag grenades, you come down here at one of these caches and pick up more frags. You only want to take 1 trip down here. So if you run out of frag grenades after that, just use plasmas. But frag grenades are really useful because they have a larger blast radius, and enemies are less likely to dodge out of the way from the damage. It's a lot easier to time. So this part, there's not really much I can do to explain how to do it. I still die here sometimes if I just get unlucky with the wave spawns, but I'll try to show you a few times of what it's supposed to look like. We got out really late. So yeah, constant backpack reloading. Sometimes you throw a grenade and there were 2 enemies remaining, so you kind of just waste it. That happens a lot. Right. See that wave spawn. See, sometimes it's really hard to keep track of enemies. And then there's 8 waves. If you use 1 frag grenade per wave, you know you're done when there's no frag grenades after you get the ammo cache. But okay. So that was a pretty decent lift fight. I'll do maybe 1 or 2 more. One other thing to note is these Marines get dropped off. There's 5 of them. About 95% of the time, if 1 Marine dies, you have to wait for reinforcements, which is like a 40-second wait. So you kind of want the Marines to stay alive, and to do that, basically take out the waves really fast. So the better your combat, the more of a chance your Marines are going to have to live. You do not want them to die, because then you have to wait. That grunt just came out really late. I think he's still alive. Now this is an example of a bad spawn, because everything basically dodged out of the way. Oh my god, and now my aim is terrible. So this is a good example of how this lift fight can go wrong. And I'm probably going to have a Marine die, and I'm probably going to die. Okay, that's basically the end. Let me do one more lift fight. I mean, really, there's nothing that I could really give as advice, but backpack reload often when your sniper ammo gets low. Side strafe a lot so you don't take damage. I mean, this is still very difficult for me sometimes when things get out of hand. There's still 2 enemies, that's bad. Now this is an example of how things can go really bad. I don't know why that grenade took so long to explode. And there's 2 enemies alive somewhere. There. This is probably the last wave. I thought the waves were already done. Alright, after they're done, you'll get a checkpoint. Then have your sniper out, and then 2 hunters come down. And to kill the hunters, you just shoot them in the back, in the orange area. It's pretty simple. Basic strat is to get their attention, and then side strafe out of the way. And when they attack you, like they do that, they kind of stand still for a second, and you can kind of shoot their back area. So, I like to get the first one as he comes down. So kind of aim towards him, and then get him. And then show that off a few more times. Now, sometimes you don't get the first one, and there's 2 alive. But yeah, that's basically what you want to do, like side strafe out of the way. Well, sometimes they take a really long time like that. Okay, after they're dead, come over here, pick up your other 4 frag grenades that you should have. Health pack if you need it. Scavenge the area for plasmas. If you're not too worried about time. Now, they all live, so I'm going to get the skip, but usually they don't live, and then you have to wait for a Pelican to come. Just come in and grab lift and then press enter. Okay. Now, right here, there are 2 possibilities for... You want to kill one of the Marines to skip dialogue. The Marine can either spawn in front of you, which he did not, or he can spawn right there. And you shoot him. Well, he doesn't spawn there, but he runs there. So if I keep loading, they'll spawn in different spots. Like that time he spawned right there. If he doesn't spawn here, shoot this guy in the head. And you'll get a check. I didn't want to get that checkpoint. 642. If he spawns in front of you, shoot him, then melee him to kill him. Let me see if I can get that one. And you'll get a checkpoint right after. That's what you want. And then one of these doors will have a invisibility lead. You can either snipe him or shoot him. And then there are 10 waves of enemies that come out. You can either have 4 grunts, 2 grunts, 2 jackals, 2 grunts, 1 elite or 2 jackals, 1 elite. Those are the possible combinations. And it's entirely random which doors they come out and which version you get. In general, probably the easiest for newer players is to throw a frag grenade at the now that invisible elite always comes out. You want to kill him first, you don't want him staying around. And then basically in combat, you can do it however you want, but basically you want to throw frag grenades if there are jackals around. Then if a gold elite comes out, you want to overcharge him and then shoot him until he dies. That's the basic strategy. And then if you don't see jackals right away, I would throw a plasma just to have a grenade to kill enemies. Make them dodge out of the way so they're less focused on you. The more Marines that are alive, the better, because then the enemies aren't always focused on you. I'm only going to do this fight once because it takes a while, but I should get like every type of wave so you can see like kind of what I mean, what you should do. Another thing, you want to kind of conserve your sniper ammo, so don't use it unless you have to. Like on gold elite waves, you want to use your sniper ammo, and maybe on that guy too. So there's a gold elite. Overcharge him, shoot him, usually twice. If you get a headshot, he goes down one shot. And then use your plasma pistol for everything else, and then whenever you get an opportunity, swap it out for ammo, because you're going to be using it a lot, and it's definitely going to run out, at least at one point. And then in between waves, you want to shoot to have the enemies come near the door faster. And then I guess one other thing, if you're too slow, like if there's one enemy remaining somewhere, like see how those 2 waves spawn? They're kind of on a timer, so you want to do these waves kind of fast. You want to take them out really quickly. Not much else I can really think of. Oh, also, a big thing. Do not pit this camouflage up. We need that later. Do not pit the camo up. And I would try to hold off on picking this up until later as well. But do not pit this up. If you pit this up, you have to restart the fight, because you need the camo for later on. Okay, so I'm going to do this fight once, and then I'm not going to do it again. There's 10 different waves, so you should see like what happens after every wave. Like I should get like every wave at least once, because there's only like 4 possibilities and how many waves. And I still die in this area. I mean, it happens, but you really don't want to die. Now if you miss, you can shoot this guy 3 times and he'll die. But every shot has to hit, obviously. And use your radar to see what door they come out, obviously. It does not matter if Marines die in this fight or not. You obviously want them alive to help you with combat, but it's not crucial for them to live, as it was for the lift fight. I really lose track of how many waves. It's just more of a feel for how many waves there are left. Jackals are just a big pain to take care of, so if you have frag grenades, try to use them, because they're so much harder to take out without frag grenades. Okay, that's the last one. When you get that checkpoint, the hunters are coming. Newer players, I would not recommend getting the camo before the hunters. I would recommend getting the hunters before grabbing the camo. So this big door is where they always come out. Let me want to try to get over there as soon as possible. Have your sniper out, stand here, and try to snipe this first one when he turns in the back. And then you only have one hunter to worry about, and he's usually focused on the Marines, so he's pretty easy to kill. Nothing else to really say about that. Now pick up the camo health and continue through this door. I'm going to make a save right here, and there's one thing I forgot to say. I'm going to come back to that save. If you don't want to kill the hunters, for some reason, you can come around here and just kind of do what I just did, and the doors will open after a short amount of time. So you can kind of just like run back to your, like say the hunters are just taking way too long to kill or something, you can come around here and activate these doors to be open. Just by doing that. Okay. So when you have your camo, continue on. If you don't have any plasmas, you want to have at least, I would say to be safe, you want to have two. You want to have 2 plasmas to be safe. So if you don't have any plasmas, snipe these grunts and they usually drop some. Like there's more opportunities to get plasmas, but you might as well kill those grunts, see if they drop any. Up here, don't kill that grunt. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get a checkpoint right there like I did. Or sometimes when you drop down, you'll get a checkpoint. Now, there are a few different ways to do this room. Okay, let me start with the most basic. Actually, let me save this checkpoint. I'm going to be coming back to this checkpoint a lot. Actually, let me start the quickest. Sometimes if there's grunts near doors and you have a checkpoint, you can just shoot them and they'll go towards the door sometimes. Grunts take like 4, well, orange grunts take less damage, so you want them to be red, like 4 shots. But you kind of just, if they stumble towards the door, you just keep shooting them like gently until they get near the door, and then they'll open the door for you. But that's not a really consistent method, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Unless, like, the other methods just aren't working for some reason. Probably the safest method. Well, okay, let me do the next one, the elite method. So find the elite if you have a checkpoint. Overcharge him, shoot him, like shoot him once. And then when he goes aggro, now I died there because so many jackals were around, so you kind of want him in an isolated spot. He's in a really bad spot right now. Because so many jackals are around. But let's try this. Shoot him once. Plasma. Should go aggro. When you're over here near a door, just like fire at the door, and he should come near you, and then open the door for you, and then just kill him so he doesn't follow you. Sometimes the elites don't aggro, and there's basically nothing you can do about it, so you only want to try that if you have a checkpoint. Because there is a chance that you can die, to, like I did the first time to the jackals, or the elite just does not aggro. In that case, he did. So if he aggroes, overcharge him, sniper, like 1 or 2 shots with the plasma pistol. And then if he like kind of goes into his aggro animation, get near a door and just like start shooting and side strafing in case he like shoots you. Because if he shoots you, your camo kind of goes away. You kind of see it coming back. Yeah. So you don't want him shooting you too much. Okay. That's the second method. There's 2 extra methods. You could also get lucky in this room and get the god door and have this grunt spawn, well, any grunt spawn like right there, which will keep this door open and you can just go through. That's your like perfect situation. So you don't have to like do any combat in this area, you just run straight through the door. Also, I guess another thing, you can have an elite walking, like that elite over there, you can have him walking next to his door, and then turn around. And sometimes that happens as you're running towards the door, and then he just opens it for you. Okay, now the final method. Drop down and kill as many enemies as you can without shooting. Probably take out the elite first, or quickly. Jackals are also bad. After you take about take out about like 4 or 5 enemies, you'll get like a checkpoint. And then there's 5 doors that enemies can spawn out of. They spawned right here, so you just kind of... I got lucky there and I could just go by. Once you kill enough enemies on the ground floor, like 4 or 5, enemies have a chance to spawn out of that door, or any of these 3 doors. So you have a 60% chance of getting the correct door to well, the correct side to open, I guess. That door leads to the 2nd level. You don't want to go up that door. But any one of those 3 if they open. If not, just load your previous save. And come over here and just wait. If they spawn at one of the other doors, like I think they just did. No? Yeah, they spawn right there. Okay. You just come down here. And that's basically what you do. You just come down here. Alright. That's enough for that room. This next room, if you have a frag grenade, or let's say, just to be safe, if you have 3 or more plasmas and no frag grenades, like if you have a frag grenade, use it here to take out these jackals down here. Like come around the corner, throw a frag. If you don't have a frag and you have 3 or more plasmas, use the plasmas. If not, just come around the corner. Not a big deal. Take out these jackals. There's 2 of them. There's the other one. And then there's 3 grunts and an elite down here. So kind of get the grunts that are over here, hide in this corner, and kind of overcharge. Well, there's no elite there. You can take out these grunts. Usually the elite comes around the corner, and he's standing in the hallway, right there. But sometimes he stays down here, so let's overcharge him and snipe him. That part really is not that bad. Okay. So this part is one of the, let's see, the big 4 tricks. Although I would argue that we now have the big 5 tricks because of flood bumping, but big 4 just to stay consistent about what people called it in the past. So big 4 are the nade launch, the door fling, the bridge fall, and the shield bump. So this is the nade launch. So basically, when you pick up an overshield in this game, you are invincible, completely invincible, until the overshield stops charging up. And we're going to use that to our advantage over here. If I can get over there. I didn't get over there in time. But yeah, this is the basic path you want to take. You want to get this ammo cache, charge up, and melee one of the enemies. That's our target right there. Might as well make a save here. So you should pick up 3 frag grenades, sniper ammo, and the health pack from this ammo cache right here. There's another frag grenade over there, but we don't generally go over there. So basically we're throwing plasma, frag, jump to get up to the 2nd level. Now I'll go over that again. The only position, like the only grenades that the position is kind of important are the 2nd and 3rd grenade. The first one you can throw like basically anywhere. Like there's no ideal setup or anything. So I usually aim about halfway up this pillar to throw the first one. And the 2nd one you want to throw at the ground when the first one lands. So you want the first 2 to go off like near at the same time. So you want to do something like that, so they go off relatively close to each other. You know, it's not very hard. The only thing is you want to make sure your first grenade is kind of like right here, along. If you throw it too far left, it's going to bounce over there. If you throw it too far right, it's going to like land on those boxes. You want it on the ground, like in this area. So it's like throw it like near the shiny strip right there. So you throw the first grenade, throw the 2nd one, it's going to land, and then immediately after switch to frag grenades and throw the frag grenade at the bottom corner. So it kind of bounces in place right there. You don't want to throw it too high because then it'll bounce backwards. Well, that time it didn't. But yeah, it'll bounce there, and then when the plasmas go off, they're going to go off before the frag. If the plasmas go off, they'll bounce the frag away, and you won't get that extra propellant upwards. But basically, you're invincible as this. See how I'm not taking damage? And now I am. You're invincible while that's charging up. So this first grenade jump, actually this whole stack isn't that difficult. But sometimes it is if enemies are like coming at you behind your losing shields. But just throw the first grenade around here, like this shiny part. Second grenade, when that lands, switch to the frag in the corner, grab over shield, wait a split second, and then jump. That's all. And I guess another thing, don't go right against the box, otherwise you're gonna hit the ceiling right there. You wanna like just barely grab the overshield and then jump. Like that's the perfect spot right there because you were nowhere near that. Jump and then just hold left to get on that platform. So I'm just gonna do that one more time. And when you jump doesn't really matter. Like that time I jumped super early and I still got up. Like you don't have to time your jump too much. Yeah, you get up here and then let me make a save right here. Okay. There's another grenade jump. We're getting on top of this thing right here. This dropship. You just throw a grenade against the wall and jump. Simple grenade jump, and you need to crouch at the end to get on the ship. If you don't crouch, you're not going to make it. And then you need to revert to that save by that door over there. So this jump is probably the easiest one. Just crouch and then you're up. So do it one more time, I guess. That time I actually didn't need to crouch, but I would just crouch all the time. Let me do it one more time. Make a save earlier so that elite isn't. Okay. Now, if you're not too good at this setup, I would recommend killing this elite. You don't want to waste that much sniper ammo. How did you take 3? Okay, whatever. He's dead. Now, nothing is going to be shooting at you, so I guess I'll make a save here. So, on this ship, you can see this kind of wedge in the middle. You want to kind of throw your... Well, basically, you're going to be aiming like this way, so you don't hit this. Your goal is to make it onto the 3rd level. So you want to jump kind of at an angle, so you don't hit that. And you want to kind of jump near like this red part. Not too far back, otherwise you're not going to have the distance. So even though this is slanted downwards, if you throw a grenade at your feet, it's going to land at your feet. And that's what you want. But if you throw it not at your feet, if you don't throw it at your feet, it's going to like bounce off. So you want to throw it directly down, but on the left side because you're jumping on the left. I guess you could jump to the right, but it's slower. So basically, you throw the grenade at your feet and then you start running and jump. Basically, immediately. And then crouch, and you'll make it. This also is not that hard of a jump, but you might get a little nervous because it's at the end of the nade stack. After you get those 2, and then if you mess up here, it kind of sucks. I mean, I still do sometimes. Like I say, if you take too long here, that elite is going to start shooting at you and drop your shields. And if they drop too far, you'll die from that frag grenade. So if you're newer, you might just want to take that guy out so you don't have to worry about him, and then you just line this up. Now that time I didn't. That was an example of not having enough distance. I didn't run far enough. Okay, so moving on. You're always going to get a checkpoint here unless you have a glitch. There's an ammo cache over here that I would recommend picking up if you're newer. 3 frags and a health pack if you need it. So yeah, I would recommend picking that up. And then probably the easiest way to take out this room is to come around here. Okay, so the enemies in this room, there are 2 regular elites. One there and one over here. 1 gold elite. And let's count the grunts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6. I think there's one more grunt down here somewhere. Like around, yeah, right there. And then there's also a jackal behind this door. Right here. That comes out when the 2 regular elites are dead. There's a jackal behind here. That spawns when you kill the 2 elites. So basically what I do is I just stay in this hallway. Like, it's really safe. The enemies, except for the gold elite, usually don't come in this hallway. So I focus on that elite first, and then take out most of the grunts on this side. So the elite's come in, get an overcharge ready, and kill him. And then kind of peek around here, you can snipe the enemies. I find it easier if you have the plasma pistol ammo to overcharge the elite, because if you hit him once with the sniper, he usually hides around the corner. He's like really tough to find. So let me see if I can get him. Probably not. Okay. So yeah, when I kill him, I come around here. Usually my plasma pistol ammo is running dry, so I usually swap out. And then there's 6 grunts. I killed 3 before, so there's 3 remaining. And they're usually not too big of a deal when the elites are dead. And then when everything's dead in this area, this door will open. Let me do it one more time. Kill this elite. Okay. I like to kill the 3 elite grunts on that side, and then the elite on this side come get the jackal and kill the remaining 3 grunts. Now sometimes the grunts hide behind there, you have to kind of lure them out, but yeah, see how he's kind of hiding. But yeah, come down here, this part's really easy, there's just 3 grunts. I just side strafe. They usually throw grenades, so just make sure you don't get stuck. And then go get a checkpoint when those 3 grunts are killed. Come up here and there's just enemies in the hallway, just kind of shoot them. You can throw grenades down. If you pick up that ammo cache, actually a frag grenade is better to throw there. There's a lot of enemies here, just kind of do whatever type of combat is easier. I usually plasma pistol that guy, overcharge him, and stick him. And continue on. Then sometimes he follows you, but if you have full shields, that's all you're going to take, shield damage. Now, for newer players, I would definitely recommend making a left up here. And there's actually invisibility behind here.
There are probably multiple detention stations.
Right around this corner, there's invisibility. So grab it and head out. You want it to last as long as possible. You'll get a checkpoint right as you round this corner. Now these jackals, you have invisibility, so you shouldn't have an issue killing them. And then there's a few different ways you can take care of these enemies. You can either bat smack everything, which is slightly slower. And there's 3 grunts and killed 2 grunts. There's one more somewhere. Oh, he's there in the corner. There's 3 grunts, 2 invisible elites. Where's the other one? Right there. And then a gold elite right there. After they're all killed, you can hit the switch. I didn't hit it there. Hit the switch, come over here and try to grab that ammo cache before the cutscene starts. The other way you can do it, I guess, is snipe the invisible elites right away. Okay, stay still. Alright, I did that bad. Let's try that again. I usually do this without camo, so I'm not sure why this is giving me such trouble. Yeah, after the 2 invisible elites, take care of that guy, and then the grunts. They're usually a big pain to kill because they just run around randomly. But your camo should last long if you want to melee everything. So do that. Come up here, hit the switch, go over by the door, grab the ammo cache. And then skip the cutscene. Okay, at this point, okay, I got a checkpoint. Reload your ammo, sniper ammo, if you have it. You'll pick up frag grenades, switch to frag grenades. And then over by this door, you want to throw a frag grenade at the door, and then snipe these 2 marines. Reload, overcharge this grunt, overcharge melee, throw a frag grenade. Melee, I would throw a grenade just to be safe, and like hide in that corner, and then sweep these enemies. After these enemies are killed, you can kind of take your time. But these enemies in this hallway and those elites need to be taken out fairly quickly, otherwise things can get chaotic. So, frag grenade, 2 elites. Overcharge, melee, grenade, grenade. Overcharge, shoot, kill, and then continue. I'll do it one more time. This part is the only part of the ending that you need to do fast, relatively. Now, sometimes he goes down there and then you just have to take extra time to kill him. And I would just throw a grenade up there. Use extra grenades if you want. Just kind of take it slow. Wait in that corner if you need to for shields. I'm going to continue with 1 bar of health and no frag grenades because I think that's really good for tutorial purposes in case you use too many grenades. Okay, so let me get a checkpoint there. Continue. There's 1 elite up here. Look at your radar. Sometimes he's over there. Sometimes he's over there. So it's nice to know where he is so you can kind of overcharge him and then take him out quickly. So this time he's coming right in front of me. Take him out. 3 grunts down here. They usually get scared after the elite dies. Come over here. Throw a plasma down there. Take out these 2 grunts. That plasma is supposed to damage those jackals a little bit. Yeah, I killed 1 of them. There's 2 grunts. Sometimes they spawn over here for some reason. 2 jackals, 2 grunts, 3 grunts. So, I have an ideal situation here. I have 3 other marines besides Keys. You don't want to kill Keys. Otherwise, that happens.
No!
Keys needs to stay alive. However, you can kill the marines and get the marines angry at you. That's what you want. Except you don't want to die, obviously. So, get the marines mad at you and continue on to the level. You can look at your radar to see if they're mad at you. And you'll get a checkpoint here, just don't shoot. Then start shoot. Well, you don't have to shoot, but start shooting. And then there's 3 invisible elites in this room. Just kill them fast. Relatively. Then when you come in here, just don't die from Keys and the level will end. If you don't get the marines mad at you, for some reason, like if some died and there weren't enough to kill to get mad at you, or for some reason you killed 3 of them and they didn't aggro, you need to wait for dialogue. It wastes about like 35-40 seconds, so you want to kill them if possible. Obviously, I have 1 bar of health, so it was kind of risky killing them because they could kill me really fast. But use your judgment. Weigh your options. Like if you have 1 bar of health, weigh your options to see if you'll survive until that checkpoint, like this one. See if you'll survive until here. If you don't think you will, just kind of go without getting the marines mad at you. So once you get here, just like shoot to have the elites come closer to the door and then take them out. And the level ends if you stay alive shortly after they come in. And just hit enter. Alright, so Silent Cartographer. Pretty broken. If you did this level normally, it would take about like 15 minutes, maybe longer.
Somewhere under
Probably longer, like 20.
Cartographer is a map.
But we could do this in about 4.5 minutes.
The island has multiple structures and
So this
installations.
cutscene is unskippable, obviously.
The map room.
One of those unskippable cutscenes in this game. So your general direction is going to be over here. And it's just running until you get to the warthog. I keep moving my keyboard up, sorry about that. I don't have too many keys up there. It's kind of hard for my webcam to aim downwards. I have a little interesting setup going on. A bunch of scotch tape. Trying to aim it downwards so you can see. Alright. So right around here I'll make a check. I'll make another checkpoint so it's a little bit closer. Alright. So what I do is I line up with this halo ring right here. And there's a darker band like right here that I line up with. I kind of aim at that height. So I come around here, go around the corner without like strafing, just holding W. I don't know, it's not strafe. Without doing this. Like, I don't even know how to do it because I don't strafe. Like, yeah, I guess like that. I have my height around there, and then I turn, and then I use a cue over here. I use this branch right here. It's like halfway between, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's this little thing right here. When that goes out of view, I throw my grenade. Like I aim like slightly left of that tire, about that high. When that goes out of view, I throw a grenade. And sometimes it works. Maybe it works better. Oh.
It looks like there is a path in
Okay, maybe you should aim slightly higher then. But I use that tree.
It looks like
Yeah.
there is a path in
Why isn't that working? Maybe I'm throwing it too far left. No, it's
It
better.
looks like there is a path
Yeah.
into the interior.
So
of the
basically,
island.
if you miss that throw, it's not a big deal. Just flip the warthog and continue on. There were a lot of jackals there. I never realized how many there were. So yeah, I guess you can aim a little bit higher. When that branch goes away, throw it.
It looks like
Get
there
in
is
the
a
warthog.
path into the interior of the island.
And drive on. Nothing else to say there. If you lose a little health, it's not the end of the free world. Now, up here, then we can save like right here. Okay, so up here, you kind of have to get used to this driving. Just slow down around this corner, otherwise this happens. You'll want to go full speed.
In the cliff wall. I'll bet the silent.
I don't know, it's a lot easier. Just let go of W
There.
for a second.
Cliff wall.
Yeah, of course, the one time I did it. Okay,
There.
that's
In the
fair.
cliff wall.
Turn around
Silent
here
Cartographer is somewhere
and
inside
just
that
kind of
facility.
swing into this corner, or this hallway, and just make your way down here. I see a lot of people just like go straight down here like this, and that makes it harder to turn later on down here. It's a lot easier if you just hug the wall the entire time, like you're kind of trying to drive into the wall.
Somewhere inside that facility.
So just kind of aim like this, go down the wall, and then get your left tire up here. This is what you want. If you're playing on PC and you're at 60 frames per second, you will not get a checkpoint here, but if you're playing on 30 frames per second, you will. So that's something to note, a little version difference. I'm on 60 right now, so I will not get a checkpoint here, although I will make one, just to demonstrate the fling.
There. In the cliff wall.
So I'll just do this one more time. This doesn't need to be perfect. This, there's really nothing you can do about losing health. It's kind of random. At that time, I didn't lose any health. Okay. I like to break. Let me make a checkpoint here. I like to break near the bottom because it makes this turn down here a little easier. Yeah. You want to make this turn and do another flame. Okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like. I kind of just go by feel. I don't usually use like any lines to line up where to go. Like when to start exiting the vehicle. I guess I start exiting the vehicle when my Warthog just before it flattens out. So when the back tires are on the very bottom of the ramp, that's when I start getting out, and then I turn slightly so I get pushed in. This is something that's very difficult on controller, but pretty easy on a PC. So if you're having difficulty on controller, it can't really help you there because it's very difficult for me as well. Basically, you want to turn slightly, probably more so than on Halo, so the back end kind of pushes you in. I keep failing this like 3 times in a row.
Don't let them lock the doors.
There's several different methods you can use to get down there. That's the one method. There's a kind of backup method if you mess up. So let me just kill all these enemies. So we save this checkpoint, and then kill all these enemies.
Don't let them lock the doors.
So enemies are not dying. They're still in elite alive. Alright, let's try that again.
Analysis indicates that the map room should be at the bottom floor of this facility.
I don't have good weapons to take out the elite, so it's easier to drive him. Okay. He's dead. I can just get out to kill that. Alright. Let's get in here.
Underestimated the Covenant's understanding of Halo subsystems.
Turret. Okay. So basically what you want to do is line up your Warthog very close to this door. And kind of exit the vehicle around here, and hopefully get pushed out of bounds.
The Covenant have impeded our progress. We can't proceed unless we can disable this
tries
installation
on that.
security system.
Okay, I got second try. I actually got bumped into the, that's probably the best bump you can get. There's one other better bump, but if you're not prepared for it, you can die from it. Because you need to crouch. But that's the ideal one to get into there. But let me try to get a different one.
Have enough firepower to get through.
So I want to show what you do when you get it.
Go ahead, Cortana. Have you found the control center?
So you kind of just adjust your position slightly, like back, forward, if you don't get it. Okay, so I got up here. This is the one I was talking about. To get down from here, you want to, well, there's a cutscene that activates, so you want to be firing your weapon to go down here. And then I would recommend coming back here and getting a checkpoint in the corner. Come back here in the corner, wait for a checkpoint. Okay, so I'll take up from here in my other save.
My analysis indicates that the map room should be at the bottom floor.
I did the wrong one, I think. Hold on.
They've locked the doors, and we don't have it.
Alright, whatever. Let me load that other one, just do the door flame. I thought I saved that checkpoint. Yes, I did.
Don't let them lock the doors.
There's also a window bump you can do, but I don't recommend doing it. If you do the door flame, melee this guy for 2 grenades, 2 plasmas. Come around here in the corner for a checkpoint, and then continue. Okay. So there's 2 different ways you can do this descent. On Legendary, you want to throw a grenade here to delay the cutscene. If you shoot, those enemies are going to see you. You don't want that. Like, they'll be alerted to you. See how they're already firing at you, but if you throw the grenade, you have a little bit of leeway. I'm actually gonna kill these enemies just so I can do this over and over again, really close to where I need to without getting any checkpoint. So let's make a checkpoint right there. Okay, there's one sort of fall you can do. You kind of fall near the left part of this edge, and you want to hit the very side of this thing right here. You want to hit the side of that, so you don't take damage, but you kind of go towards the left. Yeah, see, I missed it. So that's the one. I took damage there. Sometimes you take damage. You don't always. Yeah, that's what you want. I would not recommend this to beginners. There's not a much easier way. But you can always try that out if you like it. But the other way is to drop down over here and aim for this part and crouch right before you land. You're going to take damage, but you almost always live. But again, you have that checkpoint, so you can try it again if you need to. Okay. If you have lower health, you want to do this one, so you don't always take that much. I would crouch here just so you don't run off, and then just land on the overshield. Okay, so now come in here, hit the switch, hit enter to skip the cutscene. No, I got this thing.
Analyzing.
That's kind of bad.
Halo's analyzing. Halo's control center is
this is a
located there.
sort of glitch, but
That structure
it
appears to be some
shouldn't
sort of
happen
temple or
usually.
shrine
I'm not
for
sure why this is happening. I guess I have to watch it. It doesn't take that long. Alright.
I underestimated the
Where am
Covenant's
I?
understanding
Okay.
of
So
Halo's
you want to come over
subsystems.
here. So you come through there,
They've
hit
locked
the
the
switch,
doors.
hit enter,
We don't have enough power to
and
get
then you want to throw a
Cortana to
grenade.
keys.
Interesting.
So see how, let me show you how these elites are positioned before I throw it.
Interesting.
Where
A
am
shrine
I? I'm
is an
so
unlikely
lost.
place to
Alright.
put such a significant
That elite's
installation.
facing away, but this one's facing towards you. So that grenade you throw,
Cortana to keys.
Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place to put such a significant
turns him around
installation.
towards the grenade so he gets back snapping. Nothing too much to talk about there.
Negative, Captain.
Come up here and just make your way straight up here. Don't worry about these enemies. Kill them if they're like in front of you, but you don't have to. So this part.
Cortana to Captain.
This is where the run gets interesting. This level, you need to do the remaining part of this level really fast. So there's two jackals up there. Your goal is to kill them,
Cortana to Captain Keys.
because then the remaining jackals, they retreat up the hallway and you can continue on.
Cortana to
So
Captain
basically, you want to throw a grenade that, well, okay, first, before that,
Keys. Cortana to
you
Captain
want to
Keys.
jump to the left of these lights, otherwise you'll hit that ceiling right there. You want to jump to the left of those lights. And you have to do this fast because, as you can see, I'm taking damage.
Cortana to Captain Keys.
You want to jump, crouch, and then throw a frag grenade to take out those two jackals. Pick up the camo, pick up a plasma pistol, and continue upward. Do that one more
Cortana to
time.
Captain Keys.
Now sometimes the two jackals don't die and there's nothing you can do about it. Just like something like that happens, only one died and then you're basically cornered. You just have to reverse the save. Like, it happens to me all the time in this level. It really sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, say you don't have a pistol. Come over here, you need to do this fast. Jump here, jump, and jump. Make this really fluid. You have to get used to it. It's definitely worth practicing because you want this to, you need to go fast. If you hesitate at all, your camo's going to run out before the top. You need to make this really fast. You don't want that. Alright, I'm going to continue now. And if you don't have a plasma pistol, shoot one of these grunts up here for a plasma pistol. That one. Alright. Continue on. Kind of take this jump short. Alright. There's a hunter boost up here. Again, this is something you have to practice yourself and get used to it, but kind of shoot near him and then jump, and that was a bad one because I hit the ceiling. Yeah, you just want to get a hunter boost through that window, and then continue on through here.
Keep trying. Let me know when you've reestablished contact.
Cut corners wherever you can to save time. Yeah, checkpoint there. Normally, without doing the grenade jump, which I don't recommend, your camel's gonna run out right about now if you do it really fast. So, depending on where the elites are, I want to like bat smack one of them and throw a plasma on the ground for the other one, so they either die or just like run away. If your camel runs out before here, you kind of have to fight your way through. It really sucks, and I really don't have any advice for that because there are so many enemies here. So you really want to focus on getting up before, without like taking too long. Come over here, overcharge this gold elite, and then headshot him. If you did not kill the enemies here, I would throw a plasma just to like kind of kill them. And your warthog and continue on. At this point the level's on a timer, just kind of go out here and just drive straight off. If you flip, that's fine. Just flip your warthog. Pick up the overshield down here by the box. Go up around here. Wait for the pelican to get to about that point and then continue over and get in the left side of the pelican. You have a great chance of surviving. And when you see the checkpoint, you can just end the level. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to stop the video. I'll do the other 6 levels some other time, but I think that's a good place to stop. I'll probably do 3 levels in the next video and then the remaining 3 in the one after that. So I hope that helped, and good luck.